Hello everybody, it's Max McAllister here today to talk about the new Traxxion Dynamics tip over protection package for the 2018 Plus Honda Goldwing. So this is probably our most highly anticipated product ever. It's taken several years to develop. A lot's gone on in the background while this has been happening. I know lots of people are really anxious to find out what we've got. So the purpose of this video is not to reveal it just yet, but I'm going to tell you what's gone on to get us to where we're at, to where we'll be able to introduce it to you here in the next couple of days. Actually, you're going to get to watch the first actual test of us as we throw our motorcycle on the ground again, like we did 2 years ago when we started this process. So first of all, our goals. Now, most people are used to big shiny chrome bars sticking out from the engine and off the saddlebags like on the previous bike. Obviously, Honda thought that was ugly, and they did do that. And, I concur. So there have been a couple of really horrible attempts at big, ugly steel bars wrapping around the engine on the 2018 Honda Goldwing. Some so horrifically designed and ridiculously conceived that they have electrical wire loom clamps holding the end of the crash bar to the engine, to the valve cover. Just completely, totally pointless, useless, stupid junk. So we don't make those kind of products here at Traxxion Dynamics, so it's taken some time to get us here. Now, so let's face it, the real problem of tipping your Goldwing over for whatever reason, whether it's you or the wind or a person opens their door and knocks your bike over or something, whatever the reason, whatever the cause, the problem is the cost. So it costs typically anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000 for your Goldwing to tip over, depending on what gets hit, what gets damaged, and the extent of it. Now, and what's the problem with that is, when you have a $1,200 to $1,500 damage to your motorcycle, only a fool would turn that into their insurance company, because now you're going to have to pay a deductible anyway, and now you're barely going to get any benefit out of the insurance, and then they're going to jack your rates the next 3 to 5 years, one or the other. So you will lose the money. So the only sane way to handle this is to just pay for it out of pocket. Now, the parts that get damaged when the motorcycle tips over are Honda's plastic guards, one over their engine bar and one over their muffler bar in the back. Those parts are nominally priced. They're $30-ish. Your handlebar will hit the ground. The handlebar weight's about $25, and the screw is, believe it or not, close to $10 at retail. You may scratch, damage, or break your brake lever, or if you have a 6-speed, you might, and you fall to the left, you might damage your clutch lever. Those are about $70 at retail, about $45 to $50 with internet wholesalers. Next problem is your mirror will hit the ground for sure. Now, this is where there's some variables depending on how the bike was positioned and how fast it fell and what it falls on. But when the bike falls on the mirror will hit the ground and fold up, and the motorcycle will lay on the mirror. So in that process, the whole face of the mirror will be scratched and damaged. Are those scratches nice and visible there? So all of the painted surface of this will be damaged. The edge of the mirror will hit first. So you're going to you'll wreck this. You'll wreck the plastic casing. You'll scratch and gouge the plastic casing. Then in the worst case scenarios, you can crack the glass mirror, although that's less likely. And it is also possible, such as in the case of this one, to actually put a crack in the turn signal. So I don't know if you can see there's a little hairline crack through this turn signal. So the turn signal is $175 or about $125 or $130 on the wholesale. And the painted housing is $129 or about $90. So this is 25 or 30 bucks. It just kind of starts adding up. So now, am I going to help you save this piece? No, this is stupid. This is 25 bucks. If you don't have 25 bucks, you shouldn't own a Goldwing. So let's start there. All right. And now these little things, 25 bucks, I don't care. We're not trying to save that. It makes no sense. So the mirror, now you're starting to talk about some money, because this assembly is, you know, when you add it all up, you know, $200 plus, $250 for all the parts, kind of at retail. And that's also parts in a bag. And that doesn't include having, you know, maybe you're not a mechanic. Somebody's got to take your carriage and wiring out of the inside of your mirror housing. That won't be damaged, most likely. And take all of these decorative parts and put it all back together. So that, you know, there's an hour's work in disassembling and rebuilding a mirror. The big one is the saddlebag lid. So your motorcycle will fall onto this saddlebag lid, and you will get all of this damage along this protruding edge of the saddlebag. Now, this is where the money happens, or this is the money shot, as they say, because that saddlebag lid is $773.49, or as low of an internet price as you might find is about $575. So now we're talking about, you know, this is some, you know, noticeable money here. So when you add this up at about $575, and then all the stuff related to the mirror. So say you don't, the best case scenario, you don't break the turn signal and you just damage the two cosmetic parts, you're still at another 150 bucks. So you're easily got just $750 on just these two pieces hitting the ground. Now the other stuff is 100 bucks. It just doesn't matter. We're not trying to protect that. And it's not going to stop you from driving the bike, and it's not going to, you know, none of this stops you from driving the bike or getting home or carrying on with your vacation. Of course, you don't want to ride around with your motorcycle all wrecked up on your nice trip on your vacation and have people go, "Hey man, what happened to your motorcycle?" Well, it fell over, you know. So the goal here is to reduce that cost. So as I stated, there's probably a mirror, you know, an hour in rebuilding a mirror assembly, maybe less than that. The saddlebag, changing the painted parts, is about an hour, because it's the painted part you see, the decorative parts on the outside, a liner that goes on the inside, doors, hinges, there's straps, the little shock absorber. It's some effort to do all that, and it's got to come completely off the bike. So there's an hour. And then all the other ancillary stuff. So you're looking, depending on your fall, an hour and a half to 3 hours of labor at, you know, nowadays $150 is an hour is pretty commonplace in the motorcycle business. So you're looking at $200 to $450 in labor. So if you're do-it-yourselfer, obviously all you'd have to do is go out and buy the $750 worth of parts. Now, my goal in this whole project is to take that cost down and make it as small as possible for your motorcycle to tip over. So what's my objective? My goal is to save your saddlebag lid and to save your mirror assembly. The rest of it, I don't even care. You know, it's just little tiny $25 parts. It's not worth talking about. So my goals for this project, first goal is reduce the cost. So I'm just talking about this. Hopefully you can see this stuff. I know the lighting isn't in here, and I don't have a studio. The cost just isn't the bill of, you know, here's the bill from the Honda dealer. You know, the cost includes, well, I've got to take my bike in and have them estimate it, and then I've got to order parts and pay in advance and make another trip, and then I got to drop my bike off, and I got to keep it for 2 weeks or whatever, and I don't have my bike, and then they finally put it together, and now I got to go back and I make sure they didn't scratch it again, and while it's been there, who knows what. You get everything back, there's a time cost, and there's the complexity of the whole situation, and it sucks. And all that happened is the wind blew your bike over, you didn't get your side stand down all the way, someone, you know, opened their car door and knocked your bike over, or backed into it, you know, or bumped it or something. You know, all just a simple thing. The bike hits the ground, and now you're out of a lot of time and money. Second goal, my product I wanted it user installable. So even by a regular person, not a ace mechanic. I wanted it to be user replaceable. So if you do fall over, I'm going to start by saying my original goal was I wanted disposable parts that could be replaced if at very low cost. So again, to keep that tip over from being so expensive. And so I'm stating here, we'll come back to this. That's my original goal. And then fourth, I want to make the tip over itself user repairable. And let me explain that. So if I can save your saddlebag and I can save your mirror, then to change a handlebar weight, you just need a number 3 Phillips screwdriver. Anybody can do that. To change this rear bumper, you need a flat blade screwdriver, and maybe a pair of pliers or something. No tools any person wouldn't have at home. To change this front one, you actually need just a 5mm Allen key to take the fog light cover off and the plastic valve cover that's below the engine there. And this is right in there, and it has 2 little R clips. You pull out and change this piece. So literally one 5mm Allen key, you can replace that part. A brake lever is a flat blade screwdriver and a 10mm wrench. So that means if I save your saddlebag lid and I save your mirror, you can fix the other little parts at home with tools anybody would have in a kitchen drawer. So no big deal. So that's my goal, my set of goals for this project. So how did I work towards what is my product going to look like? The first and overwhelming thing is it can't be ugly. No gaudy, stupid bars and junk and stuff sticking out of the bike. None of that. It's a sexy, attractive, sleek, edgy looking bike. I don't want to come along and take a crap on that and put ketchup on a steak. That's not my goal. So along that lines, it has to look like Honda put it there. Now, you can be as mad as you want that Honda hasn't done something to protect your bike, but hey, they sell $1,500 worth of parts. Would they rather, I don't know. We're not going to question whether they done that intentionally or not. I'm sure they didn't, but there are ways, particularly when you see my products, how clean and simple they are, that Honda could have done it, but they didn't. So my goal, if somebody knows 2 Goldwings and doesn't know the difference, I want them to walk past one with my tip over protection kit on it, not be able to not know it's there. Which comes to the third parameter. I want my product hiding in plain sight. Right, back to the same thing. There is protection that is right in front of your face. You don't see it. So that's a real trick to pull off. This one, it has to save the saddlebag, because that's the real money, and it's also an hour's labor, right? To at a bike shop to get that. So it has to save the saddlebag. So that's big bucks. That's the real overwhelming one. And then the 5th one is we hope to save the mirror. But the mirror is going to hit the ground pretty hard, and it's a small part, but I'm really confident we've done this. We hope to save the mirror. We have not thrown our bike on the ground yet, but we are going to, and you're going to get to see it. All right. And then the last parameter of this product is it is for tip over, not crash. So if you're one of the guys who likes to go into parking lots or cul-de-sacs and do figure eights and donuts and cone races and all that and fall down, and you want your bike to be able to crash, I'm not making products for that. You'll have to actually have some sort of a gaudy cage on your bike to protect it. But I'm not making that product. That's not how 99.999% of people operate a Goldwing. So the product's not for you. It's just for a normal person for that tip over. So those are the goals. Those are what we're after. And here, come on this way. I'm going to show you something. If you recall, last year we set up our 2018, which that's our 2018 right there. We set that bike up out here, and then we threw it down on the ground. So out here, well, that might get in the sun. We're going to set up the exact same test in the exact same location, and I'm going to let my bike drop on the left side this time, just because I don't want to hit the fairing bracket where the mirror is more than once on one side. So we're gonna let it fall to the left this time to simulate, a side stand folding up and messing up. So we'll probably be doing that the Tuesday after Labor Day. This is 2023 when this video is being done. So please keep an eye on my channel. The end result of the product is going to blow your mind. It's way ahead of, it's way better than I ever thought it would be. So, well, I've got a special celebrity coming to introduce it. So keep your eyes out for that. We haven't had any celebrities around in a while. So my name's Max. Please just give this video a thumbs up. Share this with your friends who've been waiting for our tip over protection. And please subscribe to my channel, and I'll be back soon with the big reveal. Thanks a lot.